Hey everyone, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 11. So I parted my hair to the other side today, and it's really strange for me. Probably looks totally normal, but man, those little differences. So I am here today to talk to you about homeschool. I wanted to do a little mid-year update, review, just talk about the different things, what I think, what's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us, and where we're going moving forward. So at the beginning of the year, this is my first year homeschooling, and I took a lot of time and made plans and did a lot of research, joined groups. I'll have to link back to my first homeschooling video below because that was at the beginning of the year, if you're interested in watching about that. So I have a little experience under my belt now, and I just want to tell you, I'm going to jump right into it, and we're going to go through subject by subject, and I think that'll be the best way to organize everything and tell you what's going on. So, first things first, I don't have much to show you for it, but I wanted to show you my planner again. Where's the front? So I'm using this, a simple planner. It works awesome. And if you can see in the beginning of the school year, I really planned everything out. And where's August? Like, I really had been using this a lot. Our calendar, let's see. Yeah, so here I was like writing in what we were doing every day for our subjects. And then I kind of just like dropped off. I was using the entire thing. Let me tell you, when I had all this time to plan before we started school, it was amazing. And then when we jumped into it, I realized as a mom and having a little one and having dinners and having a garden and all these things, like I don't have time to sit down and devote planning time every single day. So I think this kind of a planner is awesome. I'm going to continue using it into January. Enough about that. I think next year I'll use a different one, but if you're just looking for a streamlined, simple planner, this one is amazing. It works great. We do our morning time first thing in the morning, and this year I have gone through different things. Like, I planned it out myself in the beginning of the year, and then to make things easier, I subscribed to Your Morning Basket Plus, which is like laid out plans for you. Those were so incredible, and they included a lot of things that I wouldn't know or wouldn't think to teach, like composer and art studies and all of those little classical education things, and it was wonderful. However, they would upload new ones every single month, but the plans were like 6 weeks long, so we just never finished it, and then none of the links would work for the thing, so we would just kind of have to stop early, and it was really frustrating. And I was doing a good job planning it on my own in the beginning, so I ended up canceling that subscription. So we do a devotional in the morning. I usually do a hymn. We do a hymn of the week, and I'll play like different versions of it throughout the week. The kids really love that. And then we do a devotional. We're still reading through Louis Giglio's Indescribable, I think it is. I have it on my phone, so I can't show you that book. And then we also are still doing our country of the week. I'll have to show you some pictures of some of our meals we've done. I try to like cook a country meal at the end of every week, and we absolutely love that. There's lots of great YouTube videos and books and things that we can learn about different countries. And we usually learn one a week. I have recently included learning about different presidents, and I found these at the Target dollar spot. So we're gonna start doing these in the morning. I love that morning time is when you can just kind of throw in those little things. So these have pictures of all the presidents, and they have real pictures and paintings and that sort of thing. But it's really cool. And then on the back, you can see, so here's George Washington. It tells you little facts about them. Yeah, I just want them to recognize the president and know which president, like there's a lot of them, you know, more than when I was in school and we were learning our presidents. But yeah, just kind of recognize who they are. I also found these cultures of the world. I thought they would go great with our country studies. And they are very cool too, just little flashcards that we can go through. So yeah, they have all different countries. And then I'll show you Finland. And then on the back, there's really cool things like capital, language, little fun facts, how to say hello and goodbye. Yeah, so I'm excited about starting those. And then we also watch CNN 10 every morning, and that has been really cool. My daughter loves learning about current events, and my son just likes the little fun facts, and he kind of just follows along with it. So yeah, that is basically our morning time. We say a prayer for the day and go on to our subjects. So for Bible, I have done a lot of different things for Bible. So we started with this book, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's an amazing book. We are definitely going to continue using it. However, I think next year it will just sink in with him so much more, and he will enjoy it so much more. He doesn't really love coloring right now. I don't know why none of my kids love coloring. But I stopped using it because it just wasn't quite at his level. He wasn't really absorbing it like I would want him to. So I tried doing other things with him. We started reading through a Jesus Storybook Bible, and we also have a subscription to Right Now Media. So I would have one child watch a show on Right Now Media or a Bible study for my older one, while I had the other one with me. So with Archer, I would read a Jesus Storybook Bible, and Olivia, we are reading through Christian Heroes Then and Now. We have loved those books. Let me tell you, we finished reading, I don't have it with me, but we finished reading about Gladys Aylward. That was an amazing story. We absolutely loved it. And just as a parent, it's such a good book to read. It was so amazing. I did not know the story about Gladys Aylward, and we both loved it. I cried at the end. It was so good. So I let Olivia pick our next one, and she picked C.S. Lewis because she loves the Chronicles of Narnia, and we have started reading this one about C.S. Lewis. So I'm excited to continue that when we start next year. However, for Bible, I've decided to not keep doing our rotations because it just wasn't perfect. It wasn't working as well as I would like. So I got this book for us to do together during our morning time, and it's Our 24 Family Ways. It's a devotional guide, and I'm really excited to do this with both of our kids. It encourages a lot of discussion. I'm going to see if I can find you a page. And we enjoy that. We've been doing some things together and reading from the Bible and talking about it and giving our opinions. That works really well for our family. So this is a whole week right here on this page. And it gives you the day. And then for each day, it asks you a question. You read about it in the Bible. You talk about it. And then you pray. So speak to God. So that is just going to be something that I think is going to work really well for us. It also has a scripture memory, which I've been kind of winging as I go. So I like that it has the scripture with it too. And yeah, I'm excited to start that in January. So that is it for Bible. So for language arts, I'm going to tell you about my kindergartner first, and then I'll tell you about my 7th grader. So we use the Good and the Beautiful language arts. This is the kindergarten level, and we are on lesson 67, so we're tracking really well with it to finish at the end of the year. I love they have these little sight word ladders at the beginning, and yeah, it just started out really well. This is a phenomenal program, in my opinion. Archer really does well with it. He's learned so much. The lessons are fairly short. They don't take us forever, so he doesn't get bored. And he's just done so good. There's a lot of stories in here and reading, practice. He loved this Bobby and the Big Road story. And then, you know, helping him write and make sentences. He really just has grasped everything really well, which is awesome. So we are definitely going to continue using this language arts program for him. His language arts also comes with this level K reader, which he just, when you get to the point in the lessons, it tells you when they can start doing this. And he uses this for his independent reading outside of school. And it has just little short stories that he can read. And he was so excited to like earn this book. So there's that. I also got these beginner books to go with it, which is really fun because they have you like practice reading, and he can pull one of these out and read them to one of us. So I want to show you where he's progressed in half of the school year. So he was reading at the beginning. Here's box A. So kind of starts with these little short words here. And now that's box A, there's box B, and then we just got box C, which I'm going to have him be reading in this new school year because there's one more, there's box D, but I didn't get that one yet. And now he is reading these ones. So you can see there's a lot more sentences, there's bigger words, and he can totally read through this now. He has, we read one of them, and he does need some help along the way, but he doesn't get bored with it or want to stop. And he really loves that the stories are more of a good story now. Like, he's really started loving chapter books. And yeah, I love this reading love that has just blossomed in him. It's really exciting. So that's his language arts, and it is wonderful. For Olivia, we've also been using the Good and the Beautiful. For her, their language arts levels are not the same as school grade levels. So when she tested, I talked about this before, but she tested a lot lower in language arts because she hadn't really been learning grammar in school. So as I previously mentioned, at the beginning of the year, we were using the free level 5 language arts. So I was just printing out lessons week by week as we went, and that was working really well. I still like the program for her a lot. But in addition to that, just the printing out lessons every week was kind of a pain. So in addition to that, we were also doing this Fix It grammar. I got to supplement her grammar, and I knew from the beginning of the year I wanted to do half of a year on the free language arts level and then test again. So this Fix It grammar is such a great program. We love it. It only takes 5 minutes maybe at the beginning of our lesson. So you just do one sentence a day and she corrects it and we talk about it, and it just introduces every week a new grammar term, a new grammar lesson. So here's capitals and contractions. So this first Monday we kind of talk about it, and then every day she will do a lesson. And she's learned, and like it just adds on. So you're continually keeping the knowledge that you have and adding to it. So this has been amazing. She's learned a lot. So we tested her again at the end of this first half of the year, and she tested into level 6 language arts this time. So I gave her the option to just keep going on level 5 if she wanted to, or to move ahead into level 6. And she decided she wanted to move up to level 6. And so I ordered that for her. And I'm so excited to actually have a book this time, because it's so great with Archer to just have the page that you're on instead of like printing out little booklets. And then I had papers everywhere. It was just a nightmare. So yeah, this one, there's reading, there's parts that you do as a parent, and then there's independent work. There is beautiful artwork in here. They give you art lessons. Like, it just incorporates a lot of really cool things. I have a kitty meowing outside of my window. And then they also do practice every day that she's already been doing. She's going to continue learning her geography and grammar. So we're going to continue with Fix-It Grammar and move up to level 6 starting this year. And we'll just carry it over into next year as well, which is fine. It also comes with this answer key for Mom, because I need it. And she also has a reader. So we read this together at the beginning of a lot of her lessons. And the stories we've read in the level 5 reader so far, we have just loved and adored. So I'm excited to continue reading stories together. You just read a chapter a day at the beginning, and she reads some, I read some. It's great. And then we also got this little Lord Fauntleroy book that they said is integrated into the level 6 course. So she'll be reading this one as well. So that is it for language arts. So next up is math, and Archer just finished his course book. That is part 1. So here's part 2. We finished right on time, and he's gonna do part 2 after winter break. He has asked me to do math when it's not break. Like when we don't have school, he's like, can we still do math? But he has a total math brain. So every day has this little daily dose, and they have you do a calendar, you mark the tally off of what day it is, and they have just like little brain exercises. He writes the date. It's really awesome because he's learned already this year the days of the week, the months of the year, time. He can write the date every day, find it on the calendar. He's learned shapes. He's learned money. Archer is actually doing first grade math because he went to his preschool class was also with a kindergarten class last year. So he learned a lot of his basic math skills with the kindergartners. And like I said, he is just totally into math. So he placed right into the first grade math, and he's been just flying with it. And I believe I made the right choice in putting him into first grade math. So there's really cool, just fun games, fun things to do. That is awesome. And it also comes with this math activity box. I would say this is the only negative I would have to say for this course. Those the daily dose in the morning, I can't find one now, but they get a little tedious for Mom, but they are really effective for him. So I can't complain about those, but they do get a little tedious. And then also this math box, let's see. It just has these tanagrams. Look at, there's all these things. There's shapes, there's marbles, there's game cards, there's measuring tape, manipulatives. There's just a plethora of wonderful things in here. The only downside is digging through this box every day to find, like, you're gonna need this, this, and this, and this for today's lesson. And definitely tedious. Like, we have to get out our calendar, we have to get out our tally block, we have to find the game for today, we have to find 4 sets of cards 1 through 11, and you have to get all those out. So it's definitely some prep work. I would usually we would take a break in the school day and the kids would go outside and play. And while they're outside, I would get everything ready for math. So then we can just go through it when he would come back in. So I would say that's the only downside. Otherwise, we just love this math program. He loves it. It's fun, engaging, and wonderful. The downside, the other downside is if you get the emails from the Good and the Beautiful, I just found out that they are discontinuing this math program. And I don't even know how to feel about it yet, because I love this program. I love what they are saying, that they're trying to simplify it so that you don't have to dig through the math book. The lessons are just going to be a little simpler. It's like simple math, something like that. They said they're going to be a lot shorter, which I don't know that I'm happy about. Like, we love our math lessons, and I don't really want them to be shorter. And I think practice is good for kids with math. So I just decided we're going to finish out the year with this, of course, because we love it. And I'm going to just see what the new one looks like and evaluate over the summer what we're going to do for next year, if we're going to go forward with the new math or maybe change directions. I don't know. We just love this program so much, and I'm kind of sad that it's changing. But maybe it'll be for the better. We'll see. We'll have to update on that later. So that's Archer's math. And Olivia's math, I do not have anything to show you for it. She's doing teaching textbooks online, and they just recently switched over to a desktop version, and I think they're also going to have an app in the future, so she could use like a tablet or something, which is awesome. I don't know about teaching textbooks going forward either. We've had a little bit of trouble kind of figuring out our way with, a 7th grader switching to homeschool. She has gone to school so far her whole life, and she was doing Saxon math at her old school, and she was doing really well at it. But I thought that this would be good because it's all online. I've heard wonderful things about it, and it is a wonderful program. It has a lesson at the beginning. It has practice. There's like fun little stickers you can get and choose your background. So it's a wonderful program. However, I don't know if it was a great fit for my child. She, I noticed into it a little bit, was skipping the lectures and trying to just go to the problems because she felt like she already knew the material, but then she was having trouble. And she told me that she just really missed having that teacher interaction one-on-one. So I'm going to explore other math programs for next year before deciding on teaching textbooks again. I think I'm going to have her get involved in that decision a little bit, because my own personal preference with math is the worksheet based, like Saxon math. Like, it's just all in a workbook, it's practice. Like, I am a list person, write it down on paper. Whereas maybe she's more of a hands-on visual person. I've heard wonderful things about Matthew C, and I just don't know all the programs out there. So I'm going to try to maybe move into something that's a little more interactive and something that she can do with me so I can help her with it. Because when she asks for help on a problem now, I have to just kind of jump in as the parent without having any prior knowledge of the lesson that she's on or anything like that. So it's kind of hard for me to jump in and help her on something when I haven't taught it to her myself. But she is in 7th grade math, so it's not as easy as, 1st grade math that I'm doing with my son. So we'll just see. Yeah, that's where we are in math with my 7th grader. So it's working well enough for now. So that's all for math. So those are the things that we do every single day. We do our morning time, math, and language arts. We also do these handwriting books from the Good and the Beautiful. Archer has one as well. I couldn't find it right now to show you. But these are great handwriting books. I'm going to continue with these. This is the level 7 one. I'll probably get her the level 6 next. So our other 2 subjects are history and science, and we rotate those. So I'll usually do like Monday, Wednesday history, sometimes Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday we'll do our science. And Archer has done some of our science with us and some not. Like our safety unit, here's our list of safety rules up on the wall beside me. So he did that whole safety unit with us, but then we moved into kingdoms and classifications after that, and a lot of that was over his head. Talks about like really like looking under the microscope and looking at cells and different organisms and that sort of thing. So a lot of that was over his head, but he joined us when he wanted to, and he really did join us for most of it, and loved looking through the microscope, loved like seeing about different animals and stuff like that, doing our little experiments. So yeah, those were from the Good and the Beautiful. We've done safety and kingdoms and classifications. So here was our kingdoms and classifications notebook. It comes loose and then you put it in folders. So I just kind of separate it by lesson, and I would put like the extra goodies in a pouch here. So I don't know where it is at the moment, but we are going to do the free marine biology unit next for science, and Olivia wanted to do that. She chose that. So I think they just released an updated version with more 7th and 8th grade extensions, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to check it out. And Archer wants to learn about the human body, but we want to wait until the new version of that comes out because it's coming soon too. I love that with the Good and the Beautiful science units, you can go through and like pick out what you're interested in and what your kids are drawn to. Yeah, it doesn't take so long. It takes like 3 weeks, maybe a month to get through your science unit. So it's really fun that we get to change that up every time. There's a lot of really fun experiments and activities, and it really keeps it fun and interesting for the kids. And the more that they're updating the units, they have videos to go along with them. They have it's just an awesome program. I love the science units from the Good and the Beautiful. We also use their history, and I only do history with Olivia. It's like our one-on-one time, and we both really love that time together. And I would say history is my favorite subject to teach. I didn't really love it in school when I was a kid, but now that I'm an adult, I love learning this history with her, and it's been so great. So we're doing year 1 of history here. And yeah, we've just learned a lot about it. There's 4 units within this history book, and it goes from creation to today. So, and each unit has a book to read with it. So we learned about ancient Egypt in unit 1, and we read Mara, Daughter of the Nile, which was a great book. I would recommend it. It's for older kids a little bit, but we absolutely loved it. Like, she's like, I want to keep this in my room and read it again and again. She loved it. So yeah, we learned that. There's also like audio recordings that go with these that are really fun. It's like 2 kids that are at their grandparents' house, and they are just learning along with you, and it's really fun. Unit 2, we learned about the Huguenots and the Magna Carta, all that sort of thing. And we read a book about Jean d'Albret. I don't know if I said that right. But it was a true story about her life. And it wasn't my favorite book. Olivia really enjoyed it, but it was still a good book. But I love that you can kind of choose what you want to read with this. And there's also this other big book of history stories that goes with the unit, and it'll tell you like when to read each one. So we learned about monks, and just there's all sorts of cool things. Sir Isaac Newton. So then this next unit, we're going to be learning about like early American history, I believe. I haven't really looked ahead of it, but we have gotten this book to go with it. And it's 7 Miracles That Saved America. And there's 7 different stories in here about during this time frame that we're going to be learning about. I'm not sure if we'll get through this whole book. It's a lot to read in one unit, but we're going to read several stories, and then I'll just give it to her to read the rest on her own. But they have The Unlikely Discovery of America by Christopher Columbus, How and Why Desperate English Colonists Were Able to Survive the Starving Time at Jamestown, The Battle of New York During the Revolutionary War. This book is supposed to be really great, and I love that it just gives you a bigger picture of things that have happened in our history, and I'm really excited to read this one with her. This was not her choice. I picked it out, but I think she will enjoy it with me. She is just a reader too, so she just loves it all. And then the 4th unit, I also got a book for it. This is Through the Wall. This was the recommended book for like all readers, and I just wanted like a shorter, fun book. We've been picking a lot of long books that we struggle to get through in time. So this is about a boy who lived during the time of the Berlin Wall, and his father is taken away, and it just looks like a good book. She's read about the Berlin Wall before, another story that she has, and is rereading again right now, and she just is fascinated with this part of history. So I think that she'll really enjoy this. It'll be a good ending to our year. And yeah, we've loved the history unit. It also comes with a game that we've played a few times, but not a lot. So, but that's okay. I think we'll play it more at the end because it's like things that you've already learned about, but it's hard to play when you haven't learned those things yet. It's kind of like a trivia game. So it's going to be great next year, I believe, to play the game and review everything we've learned while still learning our new history unit. I'm planning on doing this one again next year. Okay, so lastly, I'll just show you some little extracurricular things that we got. This is a creative writing notebook that I got for Olivia. I kind of try to do like a little art extracurricular time, like a fun thing with them or a project every week. So we haven't really done much in this. I think it's a wonderful book, but time hasn't really allowed for it. So I'm gonna try to include this more in the next part of our year. But yeah, like fruit and season. So it's like really encourages her to make her writing more descriptive and to just think about things. And she really likes doing this, especially in the summertime. I would just be like, okay, take your creative writing notebook and go lay in the hammock. And she would just lay out there and do it. And she really enjoys it too. We just have not really made time for this. So I'm planning to make more time for that in January. And then I also just purchased this new book. It's Drawing 100 Fun and Easy Trees. And I think this will be fun. Olivia loves drawing, and she usually likes to make things her own way, which is awesome. But I think these are easy enough that Archer can do them too. And it'll be something that they can do together, which will be fun. So yeah, just like a little, okay, let's draw today's tree. I think it'll be a fun little addition to our school day. I also plan on having them do like a journal. I want to start a journal of the life of a tree. So like we'll go out every now and then, and they're gonna pick their favorite tree in the yard and lay under the tree and write about what they see and what they hear. And then as the year progresses, they'll see the different changes of the tree. So it'll help Olivia with her writing and descriptions and all that. And then Archer to just kind of pay attention and notice those changes and see the life cycle of the tree. So I think that'll be fun to do. I plan on doing that starting in January as well. And extra little ending bonus, I wanted to talk to you about Gather Around Homeschool's mini units that we have done so far this year. So before the election, I wanted to do a government unit. I will say for both of the Gather Around units that I've done, they have been a little above Archer's head. they give him a coloring page to color while I talk a lot to Olivia about things, but he, like I've said before, he just doesn't really love to color. So he would just kind of be bored during that time, but he did pick up little things. He knows who George Washington is. He had a little mini booklet, like what is the Liberty Bell? He learned a lot of our nation symbols and people. This is upside down. But I think it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful for my 7th grader. So it went every week through a different subject. So they taught you about the types of government, the Declaration of Independence, like how how our country was founded and where we came from, why we have laws that we have today, why is our country set up the way it is. And that was so great for her to learn. It was great for me too to refresh all of that information. And then it comes into today and it talks about the judicial branch and criminal cases that have shaped our country over time, about how the media works, and just like fact checking your information. Talks about elections and how they work. So it was really awesome leading up to the election. So everything we heard about it, she really understood and was able to absorb all of that knowledge and information about the election and why everything happened. So I would highly recommend that government unit if you have older kids. If you have like kindergartner, 1st grade, like younger kids, I think it's just a little too much information for them. Even though they did a great job of including them, I don't think it's really geared towards them. We also did this Christmas unit. We just finished this one. And if you watch my channel, you've probably seen some of our fun things we've done in here. This is really just a fun unit, and we've focused most of our attention on it. So it goes through and it has you recite the Christmas story every day, and they have different versions so you can pick the one you like. It gives you a Christmas song to sing together, which we loved. And then this unit really focuses you on the true meaning of Christmas. Every lesson in the beginning tells you about someone from the Nativity. It tells you the story of Mary, then the story of Joseph, then John the Baptist, the shepherds, the wise men. It goes through and tells you more about them and what the Bible says about them. It really includes the Bible and just reading from the Word what it has to say. And then there's a part at the end that talks about hidden meanings in Christmas and what they are, what they mean, but it really tells you to make your own decisions about what we believe comes from. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful unit. It's been so wonderful. So we talk about all those things, and then they have their books that they open up. And they work on a gift to Jesus. They work on sending cards to loved ones. And then once a week, we'll have a baking day, and we've made cookies. We made gingerbread cookies, Christmas crackers, and sugar cookies. And then they have a movie night at the end of the week, and we talk about the movie. So it really just brings in all those fun, festive things. And yeah, we just loved this, and I think we're going to do it again every year. We'll just come back and revisit all of this because it's so good to just keep in your heart the true meaning of Christmas. So that is it for our homeschool day and everything we are using, and what I think about it so far and what has been working for us. So I hope that you got something out of that. I hope that I was able to help you, and if you're looking at homeschool stuff, to see what you think about them. And yeah, I'm excited to keep homeschooling. I have found it to be such a blessing to stay home and homeschool my children. I absolutely love it. I say it all the time, but I just only wish I had started this sooner. We've definitely had some difficult days, and especially now during the winter when we're just cooped up in the house a lot. So I appreciate this Christmas break. I love that I can make my own breaks and put them in where I want to. So we're going to take the next 2 weeks off, and I'm going to take some time to plan for the new school year, and I'm excited to start all of the new things. So yeah, I will keep you updated with our homeschool journey, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again for joining me. Tomorrow will be day 12 of Vlogmas, so I hope you stick around and join us for that video. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.